So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a road trip just to really find some of the places which were significant in building the man Stuart Murphy, who we know and love today. Some of those early influences which have shaped him into the just the creature which he has become. I'm rather hopeful that in the background behind me you can see Dobbin. Dobbin is a new forest pony, and actually there was just a certain relationship really between them, which was a very tender one, and which kind of brings one to tears, even as one just remembers back how Stuart used to talk about Dobbin, and just the time that they used to spend together, grooming, walking through the mud, sharing jokes, and just hanging out really. It was a really special and beautiful time of life. I'm crouching here just beside a little wall, which reminds me actually of the Colossus of Hadrian's Wall. You may be able to see this. In fact, it's really just a Highcliffe car park, but nonetheless it has a lot of other resonance with Hadrian's Wall, which is the mighty wall separating Scotland from England, and it was the subject of a huge endeavour back in probably 1985 or so, when Stuart, Rob, Callum and I tried to walk Hadrian's Wall and were successful in part. What I chiefly remember about it actually was the fact that every single person we passed on that walk would look at us and just look at the size of our backpacks and laugh hysterically. What we hadn't realised is that when you go ambling, walking, hiking, apparently you don't pack your backpack full of tins. Dried food is apparently the way forward. So it was a difficult endeavour, but we did pull through. A couple of memorable moments were really leaving the youth hostel well after everybody else every morning, which meant that we had to clean all of it because everybody else just washed one saucepan and left, and we had to do all of it. And Porridge Gate was about a 3-hour breakfast trying to boil up some porridge, which I think, Stuart, you were responsible for. Stuart was the first of our friendship group to do so many things. He was the first to have a nickname, Paddy. How exotic. None of us had a nickname, and yet he had a nickname. He was the first to do so many things, Rosemary Pool. First to buy a car. He had the Toyota Corolla, which he used to take us all for rides in. How he loved that vehicle. Really, truly extraordinary. The boom as it pulled up, the multi-toned horn, extraordinary. He was the first to buy a guitar, and he picked that guitar up in anger, and he played it that way, and that's really how it sounded. Always angry, discordant, truly extraordinary. I'm here actually in Highcliffe, outside the shop where he got that guitar. It was now you can see other things in the window which he might equally have bought instead with the same money, and maybe taken up other careers, but the guitar is what he chose. Fashion forward, he was the first to have multicoloured socks. He bought green, orange, pink, purple. He wore them before anybody else was wearing those socks, and just to prove really how fashion forward he was, he stopped actually just at the point when they became cool. He stopped wearing them. He never ever wore them when they were cool. That's just how he was. That's how he rolled. Paddy Murphy. And now, of course, the hallowed turf of a football pitch. Well, it's actually a little verge between a car park and a council estate, but it looks a bit like a football pitch. Reminding me really mainly of Chris Fowler's arse, playing for Union Baptist, where I think I played right back and Stuart used to play in goal. And there was a very unusual command always from Kevin Bowen, which was funnel. We played for about 5 or 6 seasons, and Kevin would just shout, "Funnel, funnel, funnel," and we never really worked out exactly what it meant. But if anyone knows what funnel means, then please do let us know. But the changing rooms were always interesting, because wherever you were in that changing room, Chris would come over, drop his pants, bend over, and pretty much your nose was in his crack. So interesting and rather heady days of Union Baptist football team. Fond memories. And here beside the crashing waves, hoping that you can hear me above the just the ferocious noise of the wind as these 6-footers roll in. Here really just to remember that strange story, the real kind of enigma of a story about the eel. And no one's really sure in the end how it could have entered unnoticed in the way that it did into such a tiny crevice. But we were all really just blown away by Stuart's bravery as a whole team of experts had to struggle for a number of hours over some difficult surgery removing it. And anyway, a story which is not necessarily so much inexplicable as just unexplained. So anyway, looking forward one day to really understanding how that poor eel met such a difficult passageway into death. Ice, your only rivers run cold. These city lights, they're shining silver and gold, face to face in a dark and waterless place. Walk on by, walk on through, so sad to beseech your love so sad. See the distance, stay the night in her eyes. I'm only asking, but I think you know. I think you know exactly what would have happened if you'd have chosen me as the lead singer of 1,000 Winters. It still rankles. I know you had the guitar. I know that you also had the keyboard. You were friends with Pete McLeod, the keyboard player. Okay, would have been better if we could have had a drummer in the same room. It's a shame that in the end Neil had to sit in the room next door, but I think we could have overcome that. Yeah, I guess, you know, birthdays, they are a time to reminisce, and maybe life could have been just that, a little bit different had you selected me just that day of the audition, Sunday afternoon at 271 Desborough Avenue. I hope you've really enjoyed this little bit of reportage into the life of the early Stuart Murphy. I think the real cliffhanger is actually more where he goes from here. What else in life is this man going to achieve as he enters the next decade? All I can say is that I hope that when I'm 60 I look as good as you, because I mean you look amazing. You look amazing on it. So 50 years old, extraordinary. Who'd have thought it all those many years ago as we sat in your bedroom reading Guitar Magazine and arguing over whether Eddie Van Halen was better than Steve Vai, and marvelling also on how Brian May used to play along to himself on Brighton Rock. Heady days indeed. But happy 50th birthday. Really delighted for you, and love to all you and yours. Over and out.